It hits you like a punch to the gut. The moment you realize that the carefree days of your youth are slipping away, replaced by the heavy mantle of responsibility. One day, you're a kid, carefree and wild, running through fields, laughing without a care in the world. The biggest worry you have is what game to play next or how to convince your parents to let you stay up just a little bit longer. The world expects something from you. Responsibility. It's a word that carries so much weight, a concept that seems so foreign until it isn't. Suddenly, you're expected to make decisions that could shape your future, to act with a maturity you never knew you had to possess. It's a heavy word, heavier still when you have to shoulder it for the first time. The weight of expectations, both from yourself and from those around you, can feel like a mountain pressing down on your shoulders. You're thrown into the deep end, expected to swim. Sink or swim, they say. But no one really prepares you for the cold shock of the water, the way it takes your breath away and leaves you floundering, desperate to find your footing. No one tells you which way is up. You're left to navigate the murky waters on your own, to figure out how to keep your head above water while the currents of life pull you in every direction. The worst part? You don't even realize it's happening. Not at first. It's a slow burn, a gradual shift that you only notice in hindsight. One day you wake up and realize that the world has changed, and so have you. You wake up one morning and the world looks different. The colors seem duller, the air thicker. The carefree days of your youth are a distant memory, replaced by the stark reality of adulthood. The colors seem duller, the air thicker, the weight on your shoulders, that's the weight of the world. And it's all yours to carry now. The responsibilities, the expectations, the pressures, they all rest squarely on your shoulders. The weight on your shoulders, that's the weight of the world. And it's all yours to carry now. The responsibilities, the expectations, the pressures, they all rest squarely on your shoulders. And it's all yours to carry now. There's no one else to pass the burden to, no one else to shoulder the load. It's a sobering realization, one that leaves you feeling both empowered and overwhelmed. You see your parents differently. They're not just mom and dad anymore. They're people. People with their own struggles, their own burdens. You start to see the lines on their faces, the weariness in their eyes, and you realize that they've been carrying their own weight all along. They're not just mom and dad anymore. They're people. People with wrinkles and worries you never noticed before. They're tired. You see the sacrifices they've made, the dreams they've put on hold, all for the sake of giving you a better life. They're people. People with wrinkles and worries you never noticed before. They're tired. You realize with a pang of guilt that you're part of the reason why. Your needs, your demands, your growing pains, they've all taken a toll on them. There's a strange mix of fear and excitement bubbling inside you. Fear of the unknown, of failing, of not living up to the expectations placed upon you, but also excitement for the possibilities that lie ahead, for the chance to carve out your own path and prove yourself. Fear of the unknown, of failing, the fear that you might not be able to handle the responsibilities, that you might stumble and fall. But it's also this fear that drives you, that pushes you to keep going, to keep striving for something better. Excitement for the possibilities, for the chance to prove yourself. The excitement of knowing that you have the power to shape your own destiny, to make your own choices and live life on your own terms. It's terrifying and exhilarating all at once. The fear and excitement blend together, creating a whirlwind of emotions that leave you feeling both anxious and hopeful. This, you realize, is adulthood. It's a journey filled with ups and downs, with moments of doubt and moments of triumph. It's about finding your way, learning from your mistakes, and growing stronger with each passing day. And as you navigate this new chapter of your life, you come to understand that the growing pains are just a part of the process, a necessary step on the path to becoming who you're meant to be. Remember all those dreams you had as a kid, the ones where you could be anything, do anything? Those dreams felt so real, so attainable. You believed in them with all your heart. As you grew older, those dreams evolved. They became more defined, more specific. You imagined yourself walking across that stage, diploma in hand, ready to conquer the world. But then, reality sets in. The dreams that once seemed so close now feel a million miles away. The weight of adulthood starts to press down on you, harder than you ever imagined. Bills need to be paid, rent needs to be made, the daily grind takes over, and those dreams take a back seat to survival. You find yourself caught in a relentless cycle of work, bills, and responsibilities. The dream catcher on your wall, once a symbol of hope, now seems like a distant memory. Your calendar is filled with deadlines and obligations, leaving little room for the dreams you once cherished. Suddenly, you're obsessed with things you never cared about before. Paychecks, taxes, insurance, these words once meaningless, now hold the key to your future. It's a rude awakening, a stark contrast to the carefree days of your youth. You dive into books and articles trying to make sense of it all. Financial literacy becomes a necessity, not a choice. You realize that understanding these concepts is crucial for your survival in the adult world. You're not just living for yourself anymore. You have responsibilities. Maybe you're taking care of younger siblings, or perhaps you're starting a family of your own. The weight of these responsibilities can be overwhelming. The weight of those responsibilities can be crushing. You feel like you're constantly juggling, trying to keep everything in balance. It's a delicate act, and sometimes it feels like you're on the verge of dropping everything. You feel like you're carrying the world on your shoulders. Every decision you make, every move you take, has consequences. The pressure can be immense, and it's easy to feel lost and overwhelmed. Every decision you make, every move you take has consequences. Consequences you haven't learned to deal with yet. You're at a crossroads, trying to decide which path to take. Each choice feels monumental, and the fear of making the wrong decision can be paralyzing. You start to understand your parents in a whole new light, the sacrifices they made, the burdens they carried. It's a humbling realization. You see the world through their eyes, and you gain a newfound respect for their strength and resilience. The sacrifices they made, the burdens they carried. It's a humbling realization. You see the world through their eyes, and you gain a newfound respect for their strength and resilience. You realize that they were once in your shoes, facing the same challenges and uncertainties. You're not a kid anymore. The reflection in the mirror is a reminder of how far you've come, and how much further you have to go. You see the determination in your eyes, the resolve to keep pushing forward no matter how heavy the weight may be. You're part of the machine now. The corporate world, the daily grind, it's all part of the journey. But amidst the hustle and bustle, don't forget those dreams. They may have taken a back seat, but they're still there, waiting for you to reclaim them. The weight of the world may be heavy, but it's also a testament to your strength and resilience. Keep pushing forward and never lose sight of the dreams that once inspired you. Finding a job. It's a journey that many of us embark on, often filled with hope and anticipation. It sounds simple enough, doesn't it? Just send out your resume, go for an interview, and land the job. But the reality is far more complex. It's like navigating a maze in the dark, where every turn could lead to a dead end. You send out countless resumes, each one a prayer whispered into the void, hoping for a response. Most of them disappear, swallowed by the abyss, leaving you wondering if anyone even saw them. The interviews, when they do come, are nerve-wracking. Your heart races, palms sweat, and you try to remember all the tips and tricks you've read about. You're put on the spot, judged and analyzed, every word and gesture under scrutiny. You try to sell yourself, but it feels like you're selling your soul. The pressure to present the perfect version of yourself is immense. You're desperate for anything, any opportunity to prove yourself. Each job posting is a glimmer of hope, a chance to start anew. Rejection after rejection chips away at your confidence. Each no feels like a personal failure, a reminder of your perceived inadequacies. You start to doubt yourself, your abilities. The questions creep in. Am I good enough? What am I doing wrong? The world feels like it's spinning too fast and you're just trying to keep up. It's exhausting, both mentally and physically. The worst part is the uncertainty. Not knowing when or if you'll find a job can be paralyzing. You're stuck in limbo, caught between who you were and who you're supposed to be. The person you want to become feels just out of reach. The future stretches before you, a vast and terrifying unknown. Every decision feels monumental, every step fraught with potential pitfalls. You just want to find your place in it, to feel like you belong, to be part of something bigger than yourself, to contribute and grow. But amidst the struggle, there are moments of support and camaraderie. Friends and family who believe in you, who remind you of your worth. Taking proactive steps like attending workshops or networking events can make a difference. Each new connection is a potential opportunity, and then, one day, it happens. You receive that long-awaited job offer. The sense of relief and accomplishment is overwhelming. Starting a new job is just the beginning. It's a new chapter, filled with its own set of challenges and opportunities. With dedication and perseverance, you carve out your place, proving to yourself and others that you belong. The journey of chasing shadows may be daunting, but it's also a journey of growth, resilience, and self-discovery. And in the end, it's all worth it. The transition to adulthood takes a toll on your mind. You're bombarded with expectations from all sides. Parents, society, even your own internal voice whispers doubts in your ear. It's a constant battle against insecurity and self-doubt. You compare yourself to others, your friends who seem to have it all figured out, your peers who are already climbing the corporate ladder. You feel like you're falling behind, like you're not good enough. Loneliness creeps in. You're surrounded by people, yet you feel utterly alone. Your old friends seem distant, caught up in their own lives. Making new connections is hard, weighed down by the anxieties of adulthood. You put on a brave face, pretending you have it all together, but inside you're crumbling. The pressure is immense, the fear of failure a constant companion. You just want someone to tell you it's going to be okay. Remember those dreams you pushed aside? The ones about traveling the world, writing a novel, changing the world? They're still there, buried beneath a mountain of responsibility. But the longer you ignore them, the fainter they become. You tell yourself you'll get to them eventually. Once you're settled, once you have more money, more time. But eventually has a nasty habit of becoming never. Life gets in the way. The dreams you sacrificed for stability start to haunt you. You see glimpses of them in the mundane details of your everyday life. A travel blog that reminds you of your wanderlust. A bookstore that smells like possibility. The worst part? You start to resent the life you built. The life that suffocated your dreams. You feel trapped, like you've settled for a pale imitation of the life you envisioned for yourself. The transition to adulthood is a marathon, not a sprint. There will be bumps in the road, wrong turns, moments where you want to give up entirely. That's okay, it's all part of the journey. Don't let the fear paralyze you. Embrace the uncertainty. It's in those moments of doubt that you discover your true strength. You learn to adapt, to overcome, to rise above the challenges. Remember that you're not alone. Everyone goes through this transition, even if they don't show it. Reach out to your loved ones, your friends, even strangers who understand the struggle. Sharing your burdens makes them lighter. Most importantly, be kind to yourself. You're learning, growing, evolving. Give yourself the grace to make mistakes, to stumble and fall. It's in those moments of vulnerability that you discover your resilience. Press on, live forth, embrace life. Ask yourself, is the purpose of my life, is it to merely exist, or is it something greater that I am yet to discover?